Hello and welcome to Houmi's fantastic tour of Manchester this cold, cold October evening. I'm sure that you've all been a bit chilly walking around the city centre, so I'm going to do a little warm-up for you guys. So, right, first of all, let's just warm up our hands by giving them a good rub. And then I just want you to stretch your hands out like that, and then clench, stretch, and clench. Stretch and clench, and then just clench your whole body and keep doing your little flower hands as well. And then let go, give it a bit of a shake, and then we're going to get the feet stomping a little bit, and then give yourself a massive hug, that long needed human contact, and a little rub there as well. And then hopefully that'll feel a little bit better. Good. Do you know, I've lived in Manchester for 15 years now. I came here for uni, fell in love, and never left. Shows my age. So, here we are tonight under the watchful eye of the magnificent Ms. Emmeline Pankhurt. I always feel a bit starstruck walking past her statue. You see, she was one of my many heroes when I was a kid. Emmeline, Elizabeth I, Marilyn Monroe, Whitney Houston, the Spice Girls, obviously, and Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Looking up at Emmeline reminds me of how much of the big moments of my life Manchester has witnessed. Not just the breakups, the makeups, the friends coming and going, the raves, the laughs. I'm talking about the big, mind-melting revelations. I had one of the biggest in my life when I was living over the water by Salford Central Station. It was this moment where it felt like the universe was folding in on me. This huge, life-changing, earth-shattering, jaw-dropping moment when I realised that Ms. Pankhurt, Ms. the First, Ms. Monroe, Ms. Houston, Ms. the Spice Girls, and Ms. Belle from Beauty and the Beast, none of them were East Asian. It was the realization that I'd grown up idolising, worshipping, kissing the feet of these heroes that did not look like me at all. Not one bit. So I look up at Emmeline here, and it's such a strange feeling. That rush of excitement at seeing someone I've adored for so long, followed by this sickening gut punch. The realization that, as a kid, pretty much all my heroes were white. If I worshipped them but couldn't see myself amongst them, then where did that leave me? I was maybe 25, 26. A whole quarter of a century had gone past, and I'd never had that thought before. Ever. There are three words. Three words that fill me with dread every time I come here to meet my mates. Three words of instant regret. Let's go Wagamamas. I know everyone loves it and thinks that that's what Japanese food tastes like. I can promise you that it is but a pale imitation. It's not even an imitation. It's like eating the mangled remains of Japanese food after it's been fed through Google Translate. Just not right. Oh, but maybe it'll be better this time. Oh, come on, it's not that bad. 15 years of living in Manchester and bobbing back to Japan once a year to see my family at Christmas. It's like chalk and cheese going from Manchester to Shin-Matsudo. It's a little bit outside of Tokyo. Totally different everything. I've never put the two together here and there until one day, a couple of years ago, I went on a trip to Osaka with my mum. My friends pronounce it Osaka. Has anyone here actually been to Osaka? No? It was weird. It doesn't look anything like Manchester. It doesn't smell anything like Manchester. It doesn't sound anything like Manchester. But something beyond words feels like Manchester. There must be a word for déjà vu, but with places, like that feeling of familiarity, but you can't think for the life of you why. The moment I stepped off the bullet train, it hit me like a sonic boom of feeling. It was something in the air. A gritty bustling and hustling, a hive buzzing with life, rooted grounding in the soil and the earth. You could feel its lifeblood pumping through its foundations, reaching its veins and arteries back through centuries, like you can here. But here, it's so immediate. It feels like you're connecting every single time your foot hits the pavement. My life has never been particularly grounded. I've never had roots, and maybe that's what I get from Manchester. Just over there, I got off the tram once and discovered that a tub of hummus had exploded in my bag. I ran to the first place that I could, and it happened to be that Greek taverna over there. Before that was the glass walkway. It used to be my shortcut to 42s. I've drunkenly sung Sally Cinnamon so many times walking through there with a gaggle of friends. Numerous people have shouted ni hao at me from across the street, round by the Britain's Protection, in Piccadilly Gardens, down the end of Canal Street, countless places. Down by the Arndale, a gang of rowdy 20-somethings once giggled as their ringleader shouted, "Wax on, wax off" at me. And I shouted something back that was not family friendly. Let's just leave it at that. A little further down in Albert Square, a man once shouted at me to get out of his country. You see, that's what gets me. I get this much harassment, but I can handle it because I'm gobby and I will give it back. But Manchester's a university town with loads of Chinese students who also get shouted at even though English isn't their first language, and they're only 19 and they're scared and they're wondering what they've done for someone to shout at them, and I just It's not just Manchester. I get this pretty much wherever I go. Scars, I get this pretty much wherever I go. Sticks and stones. Scars mark the battles, right? Anyway, over there, round the corner, you can get the 38 to Swinton. After half an hour on the bus, you'll find yourself at Salford Civic Centre. That's where I got my British passport back in 2012. They call it naturalisation, changing your nationality. If I'm being honest, the main reason I wanted a British passport was for the free access to the EU. It's a lot of hard work becoming British. Being raised, educated, paying taxes for 26 years here isn't enough. They like to throw the Life in the UK test at you as well, to prove that you really know what it's like. Has anyone actually taken the Life in the UK test here at all? No? No. Okay. Well, you are in for a treat. Okay. So, can anyone tell me what the repeal of the Corn Laws in 1846 was for? Anyone? No? Well, I can tell you that it was to allow the import of cheap grain. Okay, how about this one? In the early 70s, the UK admitted 28,000 people of Indian origin who were forced to leave which country? Uganda. Right, what about this one? What was Sir Anthony van Dyck famous for? Guys, he was a painter, obviously. Aren't we all glad that we know that now? It must mean that we're properly British. But it paid off. Here I was, after 6 months of waiting, standing in Salford Civic Centre, officially becoming British. Singing God Save the Queen to a CD that kept skipping. But it was where I changed my national identity. In Swinton, of all places. It's not even in Manchester. The thing is, the Japanese government doesn't like to share. So I had to renounce my Japaneseness. No more Japanese passport for me. I don't think I was that bothered at the time. To me, it was just a piece of paper. I wasn't losing anything at the time. But now, I guess, Swinton was also where I lost a part of myself. Maybe that's why my opinions about Japanese food have gotten harder. Why I seek a connection between places that don't really have anything in common at all. You see, there's so much of me here. This city is covered in my scars, my bruises, my cellulite, spreading across the streets, the ginnels, into the Mancunian Way. And all of that is woven into layers and layers of history. The Wonder Walls, the Guardian Bunker, the cotton, all the way back to Roman times. They used to call this place Mamukium, the Romans, which means breast-shaped hill, because it looked like a boob. Before all these buildings were here, when it was just endless grass and woodland, and this big boob. Maybe it's fitting that this was the city that birthed Emmeline Pankhurt. Big female energy. There is no Mamukium or Emmeline in Osaka, but it is the same. It's like the roots burrow so far underground here, and they travel through the central core of the earth, all the way through to the other side and emerge in Osaka. Parallel portals of energy. It's comforting to know that there's an imaginary tunnel that goes all the way back there. A channel that connects my Japaneseness with my Mancunianness. So I can never really lose either side of me. Thanks for listening.